So yeah, we're on the couch, which means that something has happened that is like personal, and it's what it says on the tin. My new voice recorder hasn't arrived today, so I just put this one here and put on a sweater, so maybe it won't, the audio won't be fucked up the way that it was the last couple videos. But that's not really my main concern right now. So a couple days ago, my grandma texted me and was like, your grandfather is in the hospital because of some lung thing and some ear thing, and he's probably gonna be fine. And I thought to myself, no, he ain't. So I've been pretty agitated these past couple days. For like something to happen. It's been difficult to like focus on work to get things done. It's been kind of weird. I think it affected me more than I thought it would. Like it was affecting me more. I had difficulty talking to people sometimes, and just getting stuff done, organizing my day properly. Like aside from maybe one couple hours of respite in like a gaming session I had a couple days ago, I think it was a couple days ago. Listen, knowing time is for preps, and I'm too cool for that shit. Yeah, I've just been like fucking tense, and then this morning, basically before even I woke up, but before my alarm went off, my grandmother called, and I knew immediately when I saw her name on the phone that it was gonna be what it was gonna be. Yeah, my grandfather died tonight at like 4 a.m. in the morning in the hospital. My grandmother was there. The doctors called her, and she went back there. And though he was going crazy for most of the night, they gave him like painkillers, and then when he actually did pass, it was kind of peaceful. So I'm not sure that I can like put on the mask of like Happy Burger or Angry Burger or just ironic and cool burger on the video today. So that's why this is what you get. But also I kind of wanted to just make sure that he isn't like forgotten, I feel like. Because now that he has sort of stopped existing, I don't, like, not a lot of people are gonna remember him. And I feel like he wouldn't have wanted that. And at the same time that I can't put on the other mask, I don't know if this is maybe a mask of like sadness. Because like I don't really feel much at all right now. Like I feel the same things that I felt for the last couple of days, but they're like dull. It's like I'm feeling all of that through a fog. It's like, is this the right way to mourn someone that you were kind of close to? I've seen people, like not necessarily in my own family, but I know that this happens. Is like they talk to a person like 3 times, and it's like fucking Kim Jong-un died, you know? So yeah, I want to kind of just talk about him a little bit and what he did to my life, but I'm not gonna do this thing where somebody dies who was just a dick and then suddenly he was a great person, because I feel like that's just disingenuous. I'm also going to try to protect his privacy to like a certain extent, mostly for the benefit of my grandma, you know? So all I'm going to say is his name was Siegfried Hoferichter. I might put that, if I feel like it in editing, I might put the way that you write that name down there. And I'm pretty sure he was 80 when he died, but I actually don't know, frankly. So my grandpa was a crook. Like he wasn't a good person. He wasn't someone who accrued positive karma in his life, if you want to see it that way. He worked mostly in like various roles as a handyman, like fucking people over, actually. He also did a bunch of, like, he was a very hard worker. He did a bunch of other extremely dangerous jobs just to make a lot of money. That was his main goal in life, is to just make a lot of money. And like coming from an Eastern German working class background, he did actually make it into like the middle class by the end of his life. But he didn't really have actual friends, because he would backstab just everyone He cheated on my grandma a bunch, just like a lot actually. He was a spy for the Stasi, though I mean they were forced into doing that by the Stasi because otherwise they would have been killed. Listen, my grandpa was as close to being a neoliberal as you could get. I remember one time he put out a cigarette on my favorite sweater while I was wearing it, accidentally, mind you. He instead of saying I made a mistake right now, he went, no, I did that on purpose to show you that this sweater belongs to me because I bought it, just like everything that you have, and I can do what I want with it. But like he was the biggest father figure in my life, especially like my childhood. He was my only real proper father figure. I lived with him for a couple years. He taught me a bunch of stuff. I helped him like build a house, although I'm pretty sure that he did a bunch of things, let's say, on the cheap in that house. He taught me how to suppress tears and crying, which isn't a skill that I have been using ever since I realized that actually when you're a dude, you're allowed to cry sometimes. That was a thing that I learned fairly late in life, it turns out. He taught me how not to get grifted. Like he really trained my instincts to see scams and people who were just trying to take money from me and like pickpocketing shit. But I get grifted all the time. Because like here's the thing, right? In my mind, imagine like you stumble upon a person and they do like the last bus home. It's a common scam. It mostly like at night during the cold seasons. Somebody in like a public space will carefully approach you, like to be non-threatening, and go, hey, like I live this far out and I need to catch the last bus, but like this and that circumstances happened. My girlfriend kicked me out, my boyfriend kicked me out, and now I don't have any money and I can't get home. Could you give me like fucking $4 or something? It's a classic scam. It happens all the time. 99% probably that is a person that's trying to just take your money. But in my mind, there's still a 1% chance that that is an actual person who is not lying and not trying to scam me. And they're actually having this like really scammy problem that anyone who talks to them will think is a scam. So I'll just give them the $4 on the off chance that they'll actually need it. It is a bit of money, but they need it more than I do right now. But I mean, like, that's small time stuff. Like the big time stuff, he was very effective at sort of inoculating me against. He taught me how to sharpen a kitchen knife so I could cut ham with it. I'm reaching, okay? I'm kind of reaching here at this point. But one thing that really has to be said about the man, there is no doubt in my mind that, like, in his way, he did love me as not just as a grandson, but also as sort of like a son. More than any other member of my family, aside from like my grandmother, he always came through when I needed help. Like he always, without exception, came through. And that was like primarily in the form of financial support. I faced a handful of crises in my life in that regard. He prevented me from like being homeless in the middle of winter in northern Germany at one point, which, you know, that's a bit too cool for me. Oh yeah, he told me how to cheat at cards, which is why I don't like playing cards anymore. But he has actually done a lot for me. He has gone out of his way and taken up a lot of pain like throughout my life, because like some of you probably know, I had a pretty difficult upbringing, you might say, and he always went out of his way to make sure I was helped when I needed to be helped. And he was always generous. Like he was like, usually he was a very Scrooge McDuck type of person, but like he would judge me for every cent that I spent, and every time I was on like vacation there, just hanging out, everything I did, the only question that was relevant is, are you making money off this? But at the end of the day, he always did support me. And when I did need the support, he wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to give you exactly the amount that you might need. But like, no, have this extra money too. Just because I think you might need it. I'm pretty glad that he I don't think he understood anymore at that point, but I am pretty glad that he was there when I published my first book, because I'm not sure that he doubted me. He said that he doubted me, and he told me that I was never gonna be able to do what I'm doing. I mean, the YouTube thing he doesn't even understand. He never understood what the internet even is. But I think that much of him telling me that I would never make it in any significant way was to like motivate me, because that's the kind of shit that motivated him also. It's very unhealthy, but I can appreciate the sentiment of it. I do wish he had held on for another year or two, maybe even a bit longer, just because of the financial support. I would have liked to be able to support my grandmother financially at the point at which he passed away. I think she's gonna get by, but it's just something that it would have felt like repaying. Like, not just him, but also, like, her, who was, basically my mum. I'm happy in a perverse way that they lived so far away from me, like on an island in a different country, because I got a few snapshots of, like, his decay over the years, and he was a chain smoker and an alcoholic up into like his early 70s. But like the thing that ended up getting to him was the Alzheimer's, and I know that I am at in a risk group for Alzheimer's. At least I'm pretty sure. I might have drawn the genetic lottery ticket perfection and not have the Alzheimer genes, but I probably do, and I was already pretty scared the way I saw his mental state deteriorate, because I identify a lot with my ability to think good, and that's always something that I've had going for me. At any point in my life, I was just, okay, well, at least I'm not like a complete idiot. And to sort of see all that like falling away to just how confused he was. And like he knew, it wasn't something that he knew that something was wrong with him. You could see the frustration on his face while he was trying to like explain things and talk to people, and he couldn't do it. It was pretty painful to watch that, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm making this video. Actually, I do. Yeah, I do know why I'm making this video, so he wouldn't be. I just had the impulse to talk about this on camera. I don't know. Maybe that's like somehow perverse and fucked up. In a weird way, it's me feeling like I need to make content for today, but this isn't content. And I kind of also feel like when your grandpa dies, you don't have to work on the same day. I don't know if that's actually legally the case, but I am pretty sure it is. So yeah, I don't know. Thank you for watching, I suppose. I'm gonna be fine soon, I think. I have a pretty cool video for Friday. I am actually still pretty excited to make that. I have a project coming up with another YouTuber that I'm also pretty excited about. Considering how depressed I used to get over just everything and just in general, I've learned to deal with this shit pretty well, I feel like, and that does make me kind of feel proud of myself a little bit. So yeah, I mean, basically, sort of thank you very much for watching, I suppose. Go, like, be nice to, like, or just spend time with your relatives. Although is it fucked up that I don't feel like I didn't spend enough time? Because I feel like people always say, oh, I didn't spend enough time with this person, and oh, at the end I wanted to spend more time with this person. I'm like, no. I spent all the time that I felt like spending with him, but I'm just still sad that he's dead. I just see you around, cunts. I don't even know what else to say.